Hello everybody, I hope everyone is doing well and welcome back. So in today's video, I'm going to be creating this look I have on right now. I absolutely love how it turned out. I miss the cool tones so very much. I love how diffused the eyes are, very smoky, very Jack Sparrow-y. I was so excited to take out all of my cool toned shadows from my collection. I've missed them so very much, and I hope you're excited to see a lot more cool toned looks on my channel. Before we get into today's look, I would love for you to subscribe if you aren't already. It would mean so much to me, and let's get to it. So I'm going to be starting off with the eyes today. Who am I? But I already primed my eyelid with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter eye primer, and then I also put down some concealer, and I used the Rare Beauty concealer in the shade 210N. I'm mostly going to be working with my Natasha Denona Biba palette. I'm mostly going to be using this row down here. First, going to be dipping into the shade Tor, and I'm using a fluffy brush. This is a Melt 87 brush, and I'm going to be building this one up slowly. It's really nice because it is a cream powder formulation, so it's super easy to get a perfect blend with it. It's very user-friendly. So I'm going to be working this into the crease as our first step. I have missed cool tones so very much. For me, it just doesn't work in the summer. I need to be bronzy all the time, but now that September hits, it's going to be a cool toned party around here. And I'm bringing that a little bit higher than usual. I just wanted more of a diffused look. So now I'm going to be using my Nudestix Magnetic Matte Eye Color in the shade Slate. And this is a really, really nice cool tone. I love working with these for eyeshadow looks. I feel like they really grip down the shadow. But I'm going to be running this along the lash line. And this can be pretty messy, like this won't really matter in the end, but it just adds dimension and depth. And I'm just gonna take my finger and kind of smudge it out. And I'm also going to be running that on the lower lash line and also in the waterline as well. But before I move into the waterline, I'm just going to blend the edges of that quickly. This is a detail brush from what is this? It's a smudger brush, my bad, from Moda. It takes me so long to memorize the brushes I use on an everyday basis. I don't understand why. I'm just going to run this through the waterline. I know this looks super messy right now. I was watching Pirates of the Caribbean and my inspo is Jack Sparrow, okay? Now I'm going to start incorporating Tor again. I'm gonna lay that on top of this just to kind of tie in that color, kind of smoothen it out even more again. And on the outer portion, I'm going to add in the shade Spot, which is the black from the palette. And this is just going to deepen it up and smoke it out. Now I'm just going to leave it at that for a moment. I'm now going to take the Chantecaille Chrome Luxe Eye Duo in the shade Tibet. It's just two little eye colors here, and I really like them because they're cool toned for sure, and they look more silvery, but they still have a warmth to it, so it's not going to be so stark on the eye. So I'm first going to be taking this shade right here, the deeper one, with my finger. And I'm gonna lay that all over the entire lid. And it's great because it kind of matches all of those colors perfectly. I also just ordered the Natasha Denona Glam palette that she just came out with. It looks very similar to the ABH Sultry, so let me know if you'd like to see like a comparison video. Now I'm going to spritz a Smith 253 with some setting spray, and I'm going to grab the other shade from this little duo here, just really work it into the brush, and I'm going to lay that right in the center of my eye where my pupil is, and then I'll tap over the edges so it kind of blends into the other shimmer. And I even took some of the darker shimmer to lay it on top just to really blend that in and kind of give a very diffused look. Now I'm just going to focus on the details, so I'm going to mix Tor and Spot together, and I'm going to kind of bring that on the outer corner right here. And the last thing I did is I took this shade as my inner corner highlight. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take Tor again and kind of reintroduce that into the crease just to blend everything out and soften everything. I'm going to quickly curl my lashes, and I've been getting a few questions on how I curl my lashes actually. So my favorite eyelash curler is the Shu Uemura one. I've had this exact one for years now and it's never failed me. So what I do is I first go as close to the base of the lash first, give it a good little squeeze. Then I go to the middle of my lash, give another good squeeze. And then I go to the topmost of my lashes and give another good squeeze, and then you get an actual good nice curl. For my top lash mascara, I'm going to be using the Marc Jacobs at Lashed. Trying to finish this up before I move on to my other mascaras I've recently opened. I love this one so much though. It's really quick and easy to apply. And then for my bottom lashes, I've been testing out the M Cosmetics Pick Me Up mascara. I find it to be very, very similar to the Glossier Lash Slick. It's kind of a mix of a few of my favorite mascaras. It has the properties of the Glossier one because it is a tubing mascara, but it also kind of reminds me of the brush from the Limitless from Ilia. It is a tubing mascara, but I find this one to be a little bit more volumizing and lengthening than the Glossier one, so that's really exciting. Here are the eyes all finished. It's so fun to see my eyes in cool tones again. I love it. So now let's move on to the rest of the face. So I have my moisturizer and everything like that already. The primer I'm going to be using today is the Illuminating Primer from Rare Beauty. I love this stuff. It's very, very glowy, everything that I like. So I'm just gonna take a pump of that and focus the most of it on the cheekbone and the high points of my face, and then I'll feather the rest. This is my third time using this primer, and I love how it's very see-through, but there's just that pearl that shows when the light hits it. Since I'm testing out Rare Beauty this month, I'm going to be following up with the foundation. I'm using the shade 210N, and since I don't super love dragging this on my face, I find that I over-apply. I'm just gonna take some on the back of my hand here, and I'm going to take the Rare Beauty foundation brush, and I'll work that onto the skin. This foundation definitely has a good medium coverage, but I'm applying a little tiny amount so I get more of a light coverage, since that's what I like and that matches my preferences, but it can be built up very, very beautifully. Now I'm just gonna take my beauty blender and just kind of bounce on everything just to remove any excess product and make the foundation look as skin-like as possible. For concealer, of course, I'm going to match up with my Rare Beauty concealer. I'm going to mostly use 210N, but I do want to add a little bit of the shade 190W just to brighten it up a little bit more under there. I'm going to try out this brush. I forgot to use it in my original video. I wanted to try out the sponge because that's what I mostly do, but I want more control. It reminds me of the Pat McGrath brush that she launched with her concealers, so I'm a big fan of that, but it just has a bigger surface area, so that's fun. I'm also going to take this up right in here just so that I don't have any overblend, just because I don't like how sometimes eyeshadow can make my eyes look a little closed. So now for powder, I'm going to be taking my Pat McGrath loose powder. I'm using the shade Light 1. People got so sassy in my Rare Beauty review about me not using the powder puff as a setting powder, but it's just a blotting thing, like to touch up your makeup during the day. People got so mad. I was like, jeez. So I'm just gonna add it in the areas where I know my makeup is gonna need a little help. So it's basically just in the T-zone. By the way, the brush I was using to set my face was the Milani All Over Blending. It's a really nice small one just to get precision setting or even highlighting. For my bronzer slash contour, I'm going to be using the Hollywood Contour Wand from Charlotte Tilbury. I think it'll be a nice one because it is a little bit cooler, but it still has that warmth running through it. So I think it'll suit this look very well. Have you guys been checking up on your Animal Crossing characters recently? Because I did not touch my Animal Crossing game for like 2 months. I logged on the other day and boy did I log off quick, because those little characters, they guilted me so freaking hard. I was feeling emotional that night too, which was not helpful. I literally cried because one of my little villagers were guilting me because I didn't see them in 2 months. Like, calm down. I'm just gonna add a touch more. I kind of feel like I want a little bit more definition. With this product, when I dot it right here, I always take it to the back first, closer to my ear, because if I start blending it in the front more, it's just gonna make everything look really off, and you're going to end up over blending your contour and bronzer into the center of your face, which you do not want. For my highlighter, I'm going to be taking my MAC Let's Make Waves Strobe Face Glaze, and this is such a fun product. It's kind of like a face gloss situation, but it's not super tacky. But when you squirt it out, here, I'll show you, it makes like a little cute pearl, and it's so fun. Oh, I love it. And I'm taking this because it does have kind of a pinky pearlescence to it, so it's gonna match the cool tones running through the eyes very well. And it's also more like a face gloss, so it's not going to be too intense of a highlighter. It's gonna look more skin-like. For my blush today, I really wasn't feeling like a cool toned pinky kind of blush today, so I'm going to be using, once again, my Patrick Ta Shiso LA blush, because it is kind of more of a bronzy look, so I feel like it's gonna complement this look very nicely. So I'm gonna be taking it on this Moda Pro Radiance brush, and I'm just going to be using the powder side to begin with. For my brows, I've just been using the Cosmetics Ebony Brow Cream, and sometimes I'll add some little hair-like strokes with the Glossier Brow Flick, but I'll just show you quickly what I've been doing. I basically just comb through them and place the hairs over here, just because I do have a sparser area right here. So I just kind of lift them and place them, and it stays all day. And then I'll comb through the rest of my brow to make it look nice and fluffy. And sometimes I add a couple of layers depending on how intense my eye makeup is. Like today I'm going to be building it up a little bit more, just so that my brows don't get super lost. But on more natural days, I tend to just do like one layer. I love this because it's very quick, and I'm not someone who likes to do my brows too much. That's why I mostly do them off camera. I don't feel like I need to add any hair-like strokes today. So now I'm going to move on to the lips. I'm first going to line my lips with the Cosmetics Soft Blur Velvet Lip Liner in the shade Teddy. And now I'm going to top that with the Cosmetics Venetian Rose Lip Cushion. I feel like this suits the blush nicely. I haven't seen my face this glammed up in a while. I really like it. It was super fun. So here is the finished final look, and the first cool tone look of many this season. So I hope you're excited to see something a little different from the usual bronzy summery looks. But that is all for me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video and found it helpful or fun. If you did, please give it a like. It would help me out so very much. I'll make sure to link all of these products in the description down below as always, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Love you. Bye.